Previously on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
We caught ourselves a raccoon. No way am I doing this. Ready?
Yep.
Go, go, go! Go!
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Tonight, Billie Eilish and Phineas, Whitney Cummings, and music from Grace Potter with Cleto and the Cletones. And now, Jimmy Kimmel!
Very important day of online shopping here in the United States. It's October Prime Day on Amazon. It's exclusively for Prime members, which is everyone in the world. It's not to be confused, October Prime Day, with multiple other Prime Days. This is a two-day event, and I want to say they got some great deals on some must-have items, like a pickle that yodels, a cat scratcher shaped like a tongue, a banana goose, a piece of plastic pork, and a delicious can of Spam maple flavored. I don't want to give hints, but those would make some excellent Christmas gifts for you-know-who, Guillermo.
I know who, yeah, I don't want to tell.
Joe Biden spent his October Prime Day trying to figure out where the hell this woman, Alexa, who keeps yelling at him, is hiding. President Biden spent much of yesterday being interviewed as part of the special counsel's investigation into the classified documents that somehow ended up at his home and old office, although technically any office that belonged to Joe Biden is an old office. And, of course, Mar-a-Lardo had some thoughts on that. He wrote, "I see that crooked Joe Biden is working on his document situation." I thought it was crooked Hillary and Sleepy. He's getting so lazy. He used to put so much thought into those nicknames. He moved documents, many classified, all over the place for years, including to Chinatown. He even took documents as a senator, an absolute no-no. I come under the Presidential Records Act. He doesn't. A big difference. I did nothing wrong. He did, and so did many others. This is precisely how my 6-year-old defends himself. I didn't do anything. They did these things. And this is good. When I clicked through the Truth Social to see this dopey post for myself. Directly under the post was an ad trumpeting the 4 early warning signs of dementia. Complete with, I think that might be Donald Trump in a dress. I'm not sure, but I think we all know our social media algorithms well enough to know that was not an accident. That's like when you're constipated, you suddenly get an ad for Metamucil, and you're like, Really is crazy how much Republicans don't care about Trump's insane handling of these classified documents, but do care about Joe Biden's. It's almost like they're applying two entirely different standards, maybe even a double standard, or in Trump's case, a bacon double standard, if you will. At the White House today, President Biden gave a speech forcefully condemning the evil attacks on Israel by Hamas. He confirmed that Americans are among those taken hostage, and at least 14 Americans were killed. He's vowed to do everything in his power to bring the Americans home safely, while the Magalorian is on a full all-caps alert, writing, "I kept Israel safe. Nobody else will, nobody else can, and I know all of the players." Well, then strap on some Kevlar and get over there, McRib Rambo. It's time for you to... Trump would like us to believe that his mere presence would have kept Hamas out of Israel and Russia out of Ukraine. This is from a guy who couldn't even keep Kanye out of Mar-a-Lago. But it's pretty clear that at this point, he's got no connection with reality at all. All he can see is perfect phone calls and unfair witch hunts, elections he won, wars he would have prevented. You know, we could right now build a little Oval Office in a mental institution and put him in there. Tell him he's been reinstated as president. He'd be perfectly content drawing on weather maps and pushing that little red Diet Coke button. He'd be happy. We'd be happy. Let's get it done. I mean, come on already. Meanwhile, Trump's associates in the crazy business have been making the most of this attack on Israel. Ever since that caravan of dangerous immigrants turn out to be figments of their imagination. They've been looking for something new to rile the old people up. So the Lied Piper is now pushing the idea that Hamas is in Mexico. He wrote, the same people that raided Israel are pouring into our once beautiful USA through our totally open southern border at record numbers. Are they planning an attack within our country? Crooked Joe Biden and his boss, Barack Hussein Obama, did this to us. If you don't believe him, take it from the Jewish space laser lady herself, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
What happened to Israel could happen to America because our country has been invaded by millions of people from over 160 countries.
160? That's almost all the countries. That would mean we're being invaded by Belgium, maybe Poland. Hordes of Belgian and Polish immigrants are sneaking in here with their waffles and kielbasa, and the gazpacho police do nothing about it. They let them all right in. It's hard to believe that people are dumb enough to believe this stuff, but when you hear Trump talk about the state of our school systems, it kind of starts to make sense.
So we have the worst education almost in the large world, the world that people know about?
Yes, the large world. The world that people know about. Sometimes his mouth just says things like a broken Furby or something. You know, this is our second week back to work after 5 months on strike, and we've received a lot of positive comments, a lot of compliments since our return, including one from none other than our old MyPillow pal, Mike Lindell, who, despite all he's going through right now, seems pretty okay with us.
Jimmy Kimmel came back the other night. In the first show back, he had to talk about you.
Frozen, Brad.
Okay, I said Jimmy Kimmel came back the other night, first show, he had to talk about you.
It wasn't too bad. I like the fact that Jimmy, here's what I give Jimmy. Jimmy's kind of torn. He didn't call me names when he said I think he might have even said our good friend Mike Lindell. He did call me Mike Lindell. He said Mike Lindell had problems this summer, and he had problems this summer, and he's got financial woes. And of course, then they went into the other Mike. But when he was talking about me, you know, he doesn't. He's come a long way.
Thank you. You know what, I've grown up a lot over the last couple of years, and thank you for noticing, Mike. You know, last time Mike was on the show, he did it on the condition that, my condition that he be interviewed from inside a Dave & Buster's claw machine. And even that doesn't seem to bother him.
Just think if a guy like Jimmy Kimmel would come to his senses and go, hey, we do need to fix our election platforms, right?
Yep.
You know, maybe this time when I come back on Jimmy Kimmel's show, you notice I'm calling him Kimmel right now because, you know, I've learned his last name. And but maybe when he invites me back, I won't have to be in the claw machine, Brad.
That's right.
Something else to do, you know, to make it fun for the country and the audience.
Yeah, well, maybe next time we'll put you in a giant container of Chinese food or something, like a big oversized carton of chicken chow mein. Mike's in there, or in a baby pool with floaties on. That would be cute, right? Congressman George Santos, speaking of cute, is in a lot of trouble right now. We're finally at the part of Pinocchio where he gets swallowed by the whale. Prosecutors today charged Santos. He's now facing 23 counts, including conspiracy, wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, credit card fraud, making materially false statements to the FEC, money laundering, and falsification of records. Basically all the crimes he has been charged with. Santos is expected to plead new phone, who dis? But I can't believe they charged him with identity theft. Can you really blame the guy? Would you want to be George Santos? How much fun would it be if he and Donald Trump wind up sharing a cell together? Wouldn't that be the state of California this weekend. California became the first state to ban 4 potentially harmful chemicals that are found in a lot of our favorite foods. The law, which goes into effect in 2027, bans companies from using potassium bromate, brominated vegetable oil, propylparabens, or red dye number 3. Which, listen, you can take my red dye number 3 and my propylparabens all you like. You'll have to pry the potassium bromate out of my cold, dead hand. Some of the products that are affected are Pez, Double Bubble, and Skittles. Apparently, this rainbow we've been tasting is not good for us at all. Are we going to have to start driving to the border of Nevada to get Skittles now? Needless to say, the candy companies are upset about the new law, but other snack makers are seeing opportunity and embracing it.
No Skittles? No hot tamales? No problem. Get into a box of the oldest, wrinkliest candy around. Raisins. That's right, raisins. They're not just for the bottom of a snack bag anymore. Give a kid this shriveled little treat, they'll be hooked for life.
It looks like a dead bug.
But it's not. It's actually an old grape. Try it.
It tastes disgusting.
Delicious. And they're great in baked goods, too.
Raisins in it?
You bet there are. So don't fret, candy fans.
This stuff sucks.
When your double bubble disappears, chew on raisins.
Who raisins?
Who raisins?
Who Raisins? Brought to you by Nerds.
And one thing we don't have to worry about here in California is snakes. There are not a ton of snakes here, which we're grateful for, because there's a neighborhood in Oklahoma City right now where the locals have an increasingly large problem on their hands.
This snake was captured on camera in Birchwood last week. It was 6 feet long in June, now 13 feet. The park is right next to Bryant Elementary School. No gate stopping it from slithering on over. News 4 spoke with Trevor Bounds of Redbeard Wildlife, who was hired to get the snake out. Bounds says it's been surviving under one of the homes and it might be eating cats. It just so happens half of the cats in the neighborhood are missing.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions. Maybe the cats flew south for the winter, you know? In other big news, researchers in Spain have determined that more than 1,500 species of animals have sexual encounters with animals of the same gender. According to the study, animals have been engaging in homosexual activity as a way to reduce conflict. I guess that's, I don't know, that's how they reduce conflict? Apparently, these scientists have never seen an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, but while I'm not an expert on animal behavior, we have a very knowledgeable writer who is, and so we turn now to our friend Louis Virtel, who is here to Virtel it like it is. Louis?
As the gay community's most respected zoologist, after years of research and a great deal of prayer, I am proud to reveal the 5 gayest animals of all time. Are you ready? Coming in at number 5, it's bats. More than 20 species of bat have been found to exhibit homosexual behavior, like the vampire bat, the Chamorro flying fox bat, and of course, the thickly nippled bat of Gotham City. Guess it's cold in the bat cave. Here's an interesting fact. 2 male bats will hang belly to belly, each with an erect penis. One male then works his tongue over the entire body of the other male. The other one just lays back and plays Wordle. Next up, the 4th gayest animal, the majestic giraffe. Some estimate that homosexuality among giraffes is more common than heterosexuality. I believe it. Look at them. They're sauntering around slowly, literally looking down on others, and in a fabulous but tasteful pattern print. G is for gay. Okay, number 3 on the list, it's dolphins. The twinks of the sea. They're shiny, they're delightful, and when they get together in a group, this is true, to have sex, it's called a wuzzle. And that word to me is the epitome of the gay community. Proudly at the crossroads of gross and adorable at all times. Coming in at number 2, the 2nd gayest animal, the greyhound. I don't know if greyhounds are gay, but everybody on the planet who's named Clayton or Sumner seems to own one, and that's close enough. Only a greyhound. Would any other dog be pretentious enough to be seen in a turtleneck? No. That is why greyhounds get the gay silver medal. And the number 1 gayest animal is, no, not flamingos. You might think flamingos are gay, but hanging out in the yard all day wearing pink is not queer. It's frat boy. Stay alert. The number 1 gayest animal is the penguin. Get this. A scientist named George Murray Levick first documented homosexual behavior in penguins in 1911. He called it depraved and wrote his findings in Greek letters so it wouldn't get out. He went all the way to Antarctica just to put penguins in the closets. But that was then and this is now. Penguins are free to hold fins, march in parades, dress in fitted tuxedos. Even their feet are happy. Look at this couple, Skip and Ping from the Berlin Zoo, 2 male penguins who adopted an egg together. Congratulations, you stubby little queens. And those are the 5 gayest animals. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with a vampire bat.
Louis Virtel, everybody. Thank you, Louis. Let's see. No, the cave is over that way, yes. Louis Virtel, everybody. Hey, we got a good show for tonight. Whitney Cummings is here. We have music from Grace Potter, and we'll be right back with Billie Eilish and Phineas.